Wednesday, right?
It is
Great
Wednesday.
morning, everyone. Chris Gonzalez here on this beautiful, beautiful Wednesday. Wishing you all an absolutely amazing day. We have an amazing show here with regards to uncertainty that surrounds the car business and any business for that matter. I have a very, very special guest on. I have John Labate. He is here. He has spent many, many years in the car business. We've been connected now for about a year and a half. And he's just got a lot of knowledge and a great perspective with what's going on in our industry and just in the world. So those of you out there, please share this. It's not just for the car business. It really surrounds every business in the world. You know, this is not a unique situation, what's going on here with COVID-19, with this coronavirus. This is happening worldwide. So very, very important to see what takeaways. And if we get little interruptions like our little ones, this is absolutely amazing. She may steal the show. What's your name, sweetie?
He's got long hair, but he's a boy.
Oh, I'm sorry. What? No, that's good. That's good. What's your name?
What's your name, Gian? Or what's your name?
Do
your name Gian?
He gave you the answer right there. He cheated a little bit. Hi, John. How are you? I love your hair. That's what 8 weeks will do for you without a haircut, right? He's got to lend you some, John.
That's what it looks like.
So I welcome John to the show. John.
Thank you very much.
The mic is yours.
Just to give my little bit of my background, I've been in the car business 20 years. I've been a sales manager the last 14 years. And then of course with the times going on right now, I found myself unemployed and was laid off last week due to the COVID-19 virus. And you know, as a manager in the business, oh yeah, you got your dog there.
He's crashing.
Just a really horrible time to find myself unemployed. In any other given market, I would have been 2 days, 3 days without somewhere to work, but with my resume. But now in the middle of this stuff, the term uncertainty is just pretty much encompassing everything from dealers to customers to employees to prospects. Everything's uncertain.
Now, John, look, I know there are a lot of people that are watching right now that have your same feeling and are probably in a similar type position. Look, you lost your job and you don't know what you're going to be going back to. And I think that's what really sparked our conversation today. And, we spoke yesterday in length and we hit a lot of common points, and we also have some different perspectives on things. And I think that us sharing that now live is going to help a lot of people out there, including us, because my greatest takeaway from you was all the things you didn't have time for in the past are now rushing through your brain or rushing through your mind. And I think the most important thing to do right now is to try to fixate yourself on one or two of those great ideas you have and run with it and really do what we claimed we didn't have time for before. So as much as we're in a bad position, I think we're in the most amazing position to do some really, really great things. Now, you expressed yesterday that you had this feeling of wanting to help others. Why don't you go into that a little bit? Let us know what you recently decided to do.
So I, with all this time on my hands, sitting at home, I decided to kind of roll out. I have a lot of friends and family that have followed me in my career over the years, and they've, no matter what state I'm in or what where we're at, they come and they're just always asking me about cars. So I pretty much opened it up to anybody, everyone and everything, and any question, and any, no question is stupid, and I can take you from A to Z to help you with a vehicle, or I can, point you in the right direction. I can help you do research, whatever. But, at a time when, I don't really know CPR, and I don't have any special skills that I can help out in the field. So I figured I could just devote my free time to helping people buy cars.
Yeah, well, listen. So I'm sure you as well. I've always had people reach out to me for anything, even if I wasn't with a manufacturer. They would always reach out to me and say, "Hey, Chris, what do you think about this? Or I'm looking for this vehicle. Do you have a guy? Do you know someone?" And I've always been able to refer that business to other people. And look, regardless of where you were, your knowledge and you're hitting a point there. You're focusing on what you're good at, like you've always sold cars. You've been really good at it. Why not right now double down on your strengths? And I think that is the best possible scenario that you could put yourself into. You also mentioned doing some other things on with your now free time.
Yes.
YouTube, creating a YouTube video, a YouTube account.
Creating a YouTube account. That's one thing that I actually have one. I just I haven't really been integrating. I haven't really been very good about integrating between, social media stuff and sharing it. I need to get a little better at that. But most of my stuff, I've been going back and forth with Facebook and Instagram. But yeah, I feel like YouTube kind of encompasses everything together. You can join it all together in one place. So that's one thing that that I'm looking at. I was also looking at writing a step-by-step book on how to buy a car in 2020, because there's a lot of books out there on how to buy a car. And that's the thing, Chris. I'm glad why we're doing this and why I want to do more information sharing, because anything buyers, our industry is amazing. We've come such a long way with trying to help each other and trying to help, sales managers and salespeople and owners and this side of the business. We're trying to make it easier for customers, a better place. Well, that's where I'm coming in. My thought is, who's helping the customers? Because these customers that are looking up doing research on cars right now and how to buy a car and what's my trade value and what do I do? Well, they're looking up articles that were written 2 years ago, a year ago, 6 months ago. You know what I mean? So who's telling them how to do stuff right now, what to be aware of right now, what to look out for today? Because there's not a lot out there. And, we all know how the media can spin it whichever way they want. If they're selling something or if they're trying to support their views, I'm unbiased, man. I just want to help my friends and family and then see where that goes. I mean, obviously, I'd like it to branch into something maybe that I could do like full time, but I just have way too much time on my hands, and I just love, man, I'll tell you, to get through the day, if I can talk about cars for 3, 4, 5 hours a day, that's good for me. I mean, we're used to 12 and 15-hour days. So
absolutely. And so let me say this. I want to add something to that point. And right now, worldwide, the world is being reshaped. Habits are being reshaped, reformed. They say it takes 25 to 30 days to create a habit, good or bad. And right now, our daily routine, what we thought was normal, what we did on a day-to-day basis, people's sleep patterns, people's behavior, people's ability to do what they did in the past is all being rewritten right now. So buying a car then is not what buying a car is going to be in the future. In fact, going to a restaurant in the future is not going to be what it was,
Right.
Going to the movie theater. I mean, I was skeeved out going to the movie theater prior to this. You know,
Were you?
yeah, it's just, look, the movie just ended and you got about an hour between shows to get clean, get settled, and it's just very uncomfortable feeling. So right now people are being reshaped. Everything we do is being reshaped. And I promise you right now, with all the digital platforms that are out there in regards to ordering groceries, ordering goods, services, everything is right now at the palm of our hands, right here on our phone,
Right.
or on a computer. So, like dealers right now are closed. No one is practicing or no one is adapting a new type of process, and for a lot of people, the anticipation is we have to wait this out. And when it ends, we're going to go back to normal. No, it's never going to be the normal you were used to. You know, uh, September 11th is something that still, raises hairs on the backs of everyone in the world, right?
You just did. You just did.
This happened so long ago, but yet it's
Just
so
did.
it's so new. It's like the feeling comes right back. This coronavirus is going to echo through eternities. I mean, this is going to go down in the history books. So I say this not to impress anyone or to worry anyone, but to impress upon them the importance of adapting a new way of just accepting the fact that what you knew things were is not what they're going to be in the future. So we really have to take the information that's being given even now, not just by us, by a lot of people, and say, okay, what are my takeaways? How do I acquire new skills? How do I adapt to a new way? I have restaurants locally that I would love to eat at, but they're not open. What are they doing to adapt to change? They're just staying closed for a period of time, hoping that they're going to open up their doors and things are going to be back to normal. And that is the biggest lie we could tell ourselves. I mean, again, opinion, I can't see that far into the future. I'm not Nostradamus. I can't predict it. I can only feel what I'm feeling. And I know my sleep habits have changed. My family interaction has changed. My buying habits have changed. I'm more conservative. I don't spend what I used to. Yeah, I don't have the places to spend it, but I do. How quickly can I order something on Amazon? How quickly can I order something digitally? We're just not doing it the way we did it before because there's a lot of uncertainty. We don't know where this goes, but I can tell you from the form of a habit, whether it be forming it or breaking it, we're being reshaped right now. And if you don't take that to heart, you're going to be in trouble, and there's so many, we could talk about this all day and I don't want to get stuck on that. But for whoever's viewing right now, if you have an opinion or you agree or you disagree with what I'm saying, please do me a favor and throw it into the comments. We got Robert says, good morning, Chris. We have Greg Connor says new processes coming for sure. Absolutely. No matter what industry you're in, you have to be right now working on a new process. And we spoke briefly on some processes yesterday, which we're going to talk about in a couple of minutes. But before that, I wanted you to share with all the viewers your top 10 reasons why now is the best time to buy a car. And, I know you did a live on it 2 days ago. And like I said, we agreed on so many different levels that I wanted you to share that once again on your platform, on my platform. And I hope that others are sharing that right now. So you see that share button at the bottom, hit the share button and share this because there is someone out there that is in the similar mindset or situation that can maybe take away a few points or add value to what we're bringing to our audience right now. So don't hesitate to comment. Also comment where you're from. Do me a favor, John. Go ahead. Read off your top 10 reasons, and maybe we want to break in between them to talk about them a little bit.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
What's number 10?
I like to go through the first 5. Because they're kind of grouped up. The last 5 get a little more specific, but the first 5 reasons. Okay, so the top 10 reasons of why right now is the best time to buy a car. Okay, Number 10 is because dealerships are slow. So there's very simple. I try to keep it simple. If a dealership is slow, they are going to do everything they in their power possible to make a deal with you. Okay. Well, it's not just this dealer's slow, that dealer's slow, Florida's slow, New York. Every dealership is slow right now. So that's one main reason. Number 9, the most obvious one, we're in a pandemic. We're in a natural disaster. Okay. I've sold cars in ice storms. I've sold cars in hurricanes. I've sold cars in power outages. And I mean, I know I don't need to tell you, you're like, yeah, check that one, check that.
Sandy.
Like, floods. Yeah. So we're in a natural disaster. Then the other couple obvious ones. So that's number 10, number 9, number 8, and number 7. Demand is low, supply is high. It's just it is. Demand is low. There aren't enough buyers. There aren't enough buyers to come in to buy the cars. So those are sitting, and dealerships are slow anyways. So demand is low, supply is up. And then number 6, to round off the first 5, the number 6 reason is 0% for 84 months. Never been announced before in the world. Again, to mention September 11th, I still remember October of 01 was 0% for 72 months. And everybody's like, what? Huh? What? How do you do that? With the rebates, without, and everybody had to learn how to kind of clarify that. And the same thing goes for now. Some people need to understand how the 0 for 84 works and what it comes with and what it doesn't come with. But those top 5 right there, dealerships are slow. We're in a pandemic. Demand is low, supply is high, and you've got 0% for 84 months.
That's free money for free money for 7 years.
And we know personally, what's the percentage of somebody of new car buyers going to really use the 0 for 84? 15%.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that it's there, that's what's exciting. The fact that it's there. Mm-hmm. And technically, you could even say, I think Ford could even say it's 0% for 90 months or so. I think they have no payments for 6 months. So, so you're not paying interest for 90 months. So those are the top 5. And then, did you want me to stop at 5 or you want me to keep going?
No. Well, let's talk about you mentioned supply and demand, right? So demand right now is low because people are uncertain in the Northeast. So up here in New York and New Jersey, actually New York, showrooms, the sales departments are closed. So there is an opportunity for the sales department to sell a car if someone really needs it. So if they have a lease that's due back and they have to make a decision, or they're one of these essential employees, you're able to sell them a car remotely, which means people like myself, like you, can work from home, handle a phone call, handle an internet lead, facilitate, putting a car deal together, have that car picked up at the service department and delivered to the customer's home remotely. There's a little gray area there with how the process goes, but those dealers can do business. But for the most part, the showroom is closed. So these dealers are not operating like they used to. The next thing is, when you talk about supply, you actually have manufacturers who have shut down. So the production of vehicles has stopped for, let's say, 8 weeks. That's 2 months. So supply will be high right now. But once the market opens up again, the dealerships open up again, and the consumers come back into market, inventory is now going to be scarce at some instances. So you're going to probably have the reverse effect down the road. So to your point, you're absolutely right. Now is the best time because inventory levels are high, demand is low. If you have to jump in, hey, look, I know buying a car is the last thing on some people's minds, but some people need transportation. There are people in the Northeast that mass transit is the only means of transportation, and nobody wants to jump on the train. No one wants to get on the bus. No one, people are hesitant on getting in someone else's vehicle. whether it be Uber or Lyft. So, you're starting to see a little bit of that shift now, which I think is going to give the car business that boost they need to get back up to speed. And I believe it's going to be a slow ramp up. So, so someone is commenting here. I just want to throw that up on the screen here. So if we can't get people back to work, who cares about 0% for 1,000 months? Look, Michael, I absolutely agree with you. Which is one of the reasons why we decided to jump on here. It's now the time to start acquiring new skills. Now, Michael owns a body shop in New Jersey, and I'm sure there are less people on the roads, less accidents, so he's experiencing a decline. But don't quote me on this. He may be essential because look, if a car does get wrecked, it needs to be fixed, just like a service facility. So his business might be open. So I don't know if he's directing this toward himself or just in general. But
I mean, he's got a good point.
Great point. Great point.
Can't deny that.
Yeah, we have to acquire new skills. We have to take what we did before and figure out how we can, elaborate on it and grow it or scale it. That's my greatest advice. So thank you, Michael, for jumping in here. Also, we had Steve Schimmel says, good morning. Good morning, Steve. Hope all is well. Just a little backstory. Steve Schimmel has been a salesperson with me for a very long time. He's a personal friend of mine. He, a week ago, just got out of the hospital after having COVID-19. So he had the coronavirus, and he was in the hospital for 7 days, and he had me worried. He's not the youngest guy in the room, but when you speak to him, he's sharp as a tack. The guy sells 50 cars a month. He takes care of his customers. He is a true warrior when it comes to what's going on in the world. I mean, love you, Steve. Thank you. So yeah, let's jump. Go ahead.
Well, one thing I wanted to mention, I'm kind of moving around here because I couldn't see who was live with us. And now I see my Aunt Mars on, Joey Greco, my Ford buddy from Rochester's on. So yeah, I wanted to get some shout outs too. But no, back to what Michael was saying here. If we can't get people back to work, who cares about 0 for 1,000 months? There's so many things ways to look at that comment. And one of the main ones I just want to mention is, look, here I'm a perfect example. I'm trying to get back to work here. So, this is a version of me getting back to work. Okay.
That's right.
We got to find a way, Michael, to get back to work, to get everybody back to work. But in the meantime, it matters 0% for 84 months, or it's up to us, me and Chris and you, that we've got to adapt to this we've got to create a whole new process, and make sure that people want to buy into our process. I mean, Chris and I talked at great length yesterday about servicing our customers one way or another, no matter what, from whatever state or origin or geographic location we are, to get them the car at the right price, with the right financing, with the warranty they want, with everything signed, sealed, delivered to their house.
Let me say this. I want to add to that. We spoke about this as well, but John, for all the viewers out there, if you are in the market for a vehicle, we're not selling you anything right now, but I want to tell you how we're working. So right now, John and I are working remotely. So we can work any deal for any client anywhere in the country, meaning if you have a trade, send me your VIN number, mileage, photos. I will get a hard number as to what that car is worth. I will jump on the phone, find out what your payoff is, find out what your wants and needs are, and help facilitate getting that car at the absolute best price, at the best terms, delivered right to your home. If that's not a sales pitch, it's fact. It's not a sales pitch. It's what can actually happen right now. And this is what has bothered me about the car biz for the longest time. And I'm going to bring people into this for a second. You have sales managers across the country and business development managers across the country that for years have fought tooth and nail, right, against each other. Don't give them pricing. Don't give them this. Just bring them in. Just do that. Basically handicapping each other, right?
Yes.
Where here we are in a digital age. I can facilitate all of what I just said. You have a car you want to trade in. I can get it appraised. I could find out what your payoff is. I could structure your deal. I could submit your application to the bank. I can get you approved. I can help you with insurance. I can work out the logistics to get that car delivered to your home, clean, sterilized, and you never have to step foot into a dealership. How's that for the viewers out there, right? And that is how John and I are adapting. We're not worried about our dealerships opening up again. They will. Yeah. But the dealerships who will survive are the ones who are proactively putting processes in place to make them better. Like, we're all in the same shit, excuse my language, right? We're all in this together. We're all in the same shit. The question is, how will you come out at the other end? Will you be better off? Will you have more skills? Will you have explored options and opportunities that you only wish you could if you had time? We have nothing but time on our hands. And I might be, being a little animated right now because I'm passionate about what I'm talking about. I'm confident that we can be better than who we are right now. So sorry for that little rant, but for anyone out there who wants to try this, hey, jump on a call with us right now. I have no problem working a lease, working a finance, working your trade. Full disclosure, a transparent process that the world not only wants, but they will have in the next couple of weeks or months or whenever we get through this, right? Industries worldwide. It used to be the big companies that ate the small ones. It's now the fast ones eating all the slow ones. And Amazon is a fast company, right?
Yes.
That's just an example. Uber and Lyft, same thing. We lost John there. We lost you for a second.
Man, here we go. Now I lost the volume.
You got the volume. I could hear you. I could hear you.
You probably can hear me. Let me see if I.
Hello? So, I hear you.
Have to come back on here.
Okay, go ahead. So just I just want to Marie. I'm sorry. I want to thank you. Excellent information. We appreciate that. We love the feedback. If you guys can share this, that would be absolutely amazing. Once again, there's so many things that we will cover here today that someone out there could use. If you're just jumping in, you might want to go back to the beginning, replay this, because we did cover already a lot of things, and we're going to get to a lot more. We lost John over there. He'll get back on here in a minute. Let me just change that around. So for those of you who know, Be Great TV. Let's see who else we have here. Steve Schimmel, no, thank you. I appreciate you. Michael says we need to jumpstart the economy. We need to get things rolling as a society. You are absolutely right, Michael. And it can't happen. It can't be done alone. We need everyone's effort. Like, we need people to really, those who haven't taken this serious, take it serious. Stay inside, reduce your contact, wash your hands, do your part. So personally, I take zinc with quinine, with tonic water as a preventative. I'm healthy. My immediate family's healthy. I do have some friends that have gotten sick, that have overcome this. I do have some friends that have passed away. So there are people that have to be out and about. If you don't have to be, don't be. Don't be that daily warrior. Don't think that you are Superman. You might be, but the person who you come in contact with next might not be. There are tons of people out there with upper respiratory issues, tons of people out there with autoimmune diseases. There are tons of people out there who don't have your immune system. So, take other people into consideration and do your part, please. It's super, super important. We lost John. Where did he go? Also, we have, you two are the new car salesmen of the future. Marie, thank you so much. We appreciate that. Just doing our part. Once again, when in doubt, you have to adapt. Actually, my wife says, when in doubt, you have to dance it out. That's her line, Idania Gonzalez. Follow her. She is another very inspiring person who has jumped out of her comfort zone and adapted to this new time. She is a fitness instructor. We know gyms are closed. She is now teaching her classes virtually, and she's doing super well. More importantly, her people absolutely love it. She has been an outlet for them. She's been a place where they can kind of forget about what's going on in the world and focus on themselves, which is super, super important. You know, we have tons of negative distractions in the world. We need a source of positivity, and we need to reconnect ourselves with what's important. Health before wealth. The bottom line is, if you don't have your health, you're going to wind up giving up your wealth to get back your health. It's just fact, right? So take care of yourself first. We lost John, so we're going to continue here a little bit. Excellent. Few more comments. Who else do we have here? John, where are you, buddy? So those of you just joining, we had John Labate was on with us. We lost connection. I think he's trying to jump back in. Let's see if we can re-invite him. Hang on one second. I'm just going to minimize this for a second so I can shoot him another link and get him back on with us. His email address is Big Giant. He is a big guy. Do me a favor, those of you who are on here who are in the car business, hey, just let us know where you're from. Like, where are you watching us from? Where are you in the world? Put it in the comment section. I'd love to give you a shout out where you are. Those of you who are participating, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Major takeaways: the world is being reshaped right now. You know, habits are being reformed. Routines are being changed, and we are just changing everything. You know, we got Joey Greco from Rochester. Thanks for joining, Joey. I think we got there. You are, brother. You left us for Ian from Denver. Couple of shout outs. You missed this, but we got Joey Greco from Rochester, New York.
Yes.
House. We have Ian Macklin from Denver. Thank you for joining. It's amazing how we can all be where we are in the world, but still somehow get connected face to face, in common, have conversation. And it is the power of technology. You know, there are people out there that say technology is killing our youth and our economy and the world. And it's quite opposite. You know, technology has opened up markets, has opened up relationship, has opened up communication. Sometimes it can be bad, right? Especially when you're talking with the media. It is what it is. Joey Greco says he loves what we're doing. John, you're amazing.
I'll tell you.
John, I love that shirt. Let's talk about that shirt for a second.
Joey.
I love that shirt. And hold on, what is it right here?
Yeah, feeling cute today. You know,
you're feeling cute today.
The story about the shirt.
Real quick, thanks for the great information from Ian.
Well, yeah, and I want to talk about Joey Greco for a minute. He's a perfect example. Okay, Joey Greco is a almost the perfect protege that you could have here for what we're going through right now. Okay, Joey works at a small Ford store, you know, out in outside of Rochester, about 30 miles outside of Rochester. But Joey takes care of his customers. He's always on social media, referrals. You know, he's the guy. Joey is the salesperson that customers are probably 51% buying Joey Greco and 49% buying the vehicle and the dealership and everything else they're at. So he's got an edge. You know, this is a perfect example of a guy that is probably not going to have to change his whole way he does business if we're going to go completely online and completely in the, you know, the way that we're doing it.
You know, that's super important, John. You know, like most people buy from people, not companies. They like doing business with who they like doing business with. And yeah, you're right. If he's got a database and he's got a following, he's always going to have that. And there's nothing better than word of mouth. In fact, what we're doing right now is word of mouth, right? It's a friend tells a friend or takes this video and shares it. That's word of mouth on steroids. So great job, Joey. Absolutely. What do you sell, Joey? Share with us. Do you know, John? What's he selling?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Ford. He's a lot of used cars, really. Actually, they don't sell. They don't focus a lot on the new. But he sells Ford. He works for the James Auto Group, which I worked for. I worked with Joey, and they've got a few Mitsubishi stores. Actually, a couple of the top 10 Mitsubishi stores in the country, and they have a Ford store. But you know what I'm saying is that okay, the guys that are going to be successful when this thing, you know, starts to get to be more of, again, you know, we're constantly changing. There's different policy changes almost on a daily basis on people trying to sell cars totally online because of COVID. But a guy like Joey that already knows relationship selling, already knows branding, already knows is a guy, a service. He serves his customers. You know what I mean? If they have a problem, they call Joey. They need an oil change, they call Joey. They saw a car online, and when they want to buy a Corvette, probably half his Ford customers, you know, are going to call Joey. So, and that's what you want. You want, you know, again, none of us know. I'm in Florida. Showrooms are open down here. You guys, you're in Jersey. Joey's in New York. Showrooms are closed. It's only by appointment only. So what is he going to do? Is he sitting home and making that delicious chicken soup, homemade chicken soup that he makes?
Yes, while he's on the phone, though.
While he's on the phone.
While he's on the phone with his client answering questions.
And there is no difference of the service that he provides his customers in his own home and at his kitchen table with his laptop. There's virtually no difference than when he's at the dealership and showing around. The only thing there is not the touch and feel of the car.
See, for those sales consultants that are on our video right now, on our live, what Joey has done is he has forced his customers, right? I'm using the word forced. He's forced his customers to take ownership of him. So they can call him for anything. They need an oil change. They need to have a question. He's like always there for them, you know, and it's yep. Most salespeople today, they only want to stay in contact with customers when they have something to offer. Hey, we got a great deal. We got a sale. We wanted to do this. We want to buy your car. And it's the wrong approach. You got to build long-lasting relationships by consistently being there to service your clients. We have another comment here from Ian. He goes, I freaking like Joey and I don't even know him. I want to buy from Joey.
He's an amazing guy. He is an amazing guy. And I'll tell you, we worked at the Ford store together. Then I moved to, I actually went to Atlanta, but then I came back to the organization and I was 30 miles across town in the town of Greece at the new Mitsubishi store. And Joey would not come there, even though it was projected to be busier. He would not. He was so loyal to his place and where he was. He would not move there. And it was like planned. He was supposed to do it, and he was like, "I can't do it. I got to stay. I got to help my people."
Ian says 100% how it's done. Great work.
Yeah.
So wait, where does Ian work? Ian's very active here. Let's give him a little. Let's see where he's from. He's from Denver. You know, Ian. What manufacturer? You don't have to tell us the store. What do you sell? Do you sell
Tynan's Nissan Aurora?
Nissan. Okay.
Nissan.
Yeah, so are your showrooms closed?
Favorite brand.
Good question. What's that?
My least favorite brand.
Don't say that. Nissan's a good brand.
No, I shouldn't say, I'm not saying. I guess just from the you know, the incentives and the friends of mine that work there, they're just never, you know, I mean, we get excited. Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep guys are like, we got this going on.
Look at this guy. Look at this guy. He wants to be on the live. You want to be on the live, Duke? Come on. Where are you from? He's originally from Germany. He was born in Miami and he's moved to Jersey City. He's a good boy. I got my dog chiming in. You got your son chiming in. We got Ian, Joey dropping some good content here. And so we were on 5, right?
Yeah.
We're not done with those. So go ahead. What's 4?
No, we're on 5 now.
Go ahead. What's 5?
5 is April. It's April. April, I don't know about you, but on the scale of best months of the year is got to be the bottom 6, Chris. Am I wrong?
That's it. Listen, April showers bring May flowers, right?
It's April, right? And I mean, if I go back to my days in New York, okay, April was a very soft month for us. March was huge, but we used to have a tent sale every June, and in the Northeast, June is like the Mecca. June is June. So if you killed it in March, April was like, So it's April.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good reason why now is to buy a car anyway, because all this stuff is going on, and it's April.
Right.
Number 4 was the biggest one, and we talked about this, and this could be the only reason, but the uncertainty, and the uncertainty with just everything that's going on. Are we going to need showrooms? Are people going to come back? When is this going to end? Are people going to go out of business? Are people going to lose jobs? Are people going to, is cash for clunkers going to come out? I mean, we could go on and on. We could do a lightning round, me and you, and do 50 questions back and forth and not have an answer to one of them. That's the definition of uncertainty.
I can give you, so look, my opinion on the matter is whatever we were doing prior to this pandemic, right? Let's say dealers were operating at 100%, which we know they weren't, but at 100%. I believe when it opens back up, I believe there's going to be a slow ramp up. Dealers might do 50%, and there may be a slow ramp up to get back up to that 100. But I believe it's going to take time, because once again, when you go back to the reshaping of habits and rituals and what we're used to, everything has been changed. Everything that was once normal is not anymore. It's just not our routine. It's not what's on our mind. We're not focused. I mean, look, I became a chef, right? Like, not really a chef, but I'm cooking at home. I haven't cooked, since I did Sunday sauce in Jersey, like I would grow my own tomatoes and I would do Sunday sauce. But now I'm cooking meals. Like, it's just, I have that extra time, so what was once normal is just not the norm anymore. It's completely different. So with that being said, I believe there's going to be a slow ramp up, which might pose a problem. A lot of these businesses are filing for this payroll protection plan, right? The PPP, and they're going to be advanced 2.5 times their payroll and some expenses, and they're being given 8 weeks to use that money, right? I don't think it's going to be 8 weeks. I think that's a trap. So people are going to wind up taking debt to cover debt and put themselves in a bad position. So business owners, dealerships, be smart about this. All right. It sounds great. And I know what happens when we get that influx of $1 million, $1.2 million, $1.5 million, whatever the dollar amount is. It feels great. And we feel like we're back, but business is going to take a little time to ramp back up. So, I don't think that's just my opinion. I think it's a fact based upon our habits, what we're used to as consumers, as employees, as owners, everything as we know it. Ian has something to say here. Hold on. He goes, it will take time, but we will always have a need for showrooms. This just shows more about how deep your relationships need to be. Stop focusing on selling, start focusing on service. 1,000%. And to Ian's point, I want to bring people into a process that I experienced. So back in November, I decided to place an order on a Tesla, and it was super easy to do. I mean, I literally built my car the way I wanted it, and all they wanted was $100. And I had, up until the car was delivered, and 30 days afterwards to return it if I really didn't like it. How do you say no to that, right? It just made it so easy for me to place the order that I did. So I built the car. I put in my $100. They asked me how I wanted to pay for this vehicle. Do I want to pay cash, finance, or a lease? I selected lease. I structured my lease, my out-of-pocket, my mileage, my terms. I filled out my credit application. I hit submit. I got the alert from my credit monitoring that Tesla ran my credit on TransUnion. I then was asked to upload my driver's license right onto the computer. 3 weeks later, I get a text message. My car's here. Schedule my delivery 2 days out, right? I uploaded my insurance. They delivered the car to my home. I never had to step foot in a dealership.
Amazon.
I'm going to take that one step further. I had an issue with my car on Friday. I submitted a service request. The first available was this Thursday. I submitted it. I get a text message Saturday morning. Hey, do you have a few minutes to talk about your service you scheduled for this date? I jumped on. I said, yeah, I'm available after 1:30. Andrew from Tesla called me. He said, I saw you put in an appointment for Thursday. Could you drop the car off today? I said, sure. Saturday, I wasn't doing anything, right? He says, I'm going to arrange for a loaner. He emailed me a PDF. I sent an email reply back, okay, loaner. I went to the dealership. I put my key in the late box, right? You know, the boxes that we have to put my keys in. I parked my car. He said, text me when you get there. They remote opened a loaner. The key was inside. I drove off in my loaner. No. It gets better. Monday morning, I get a text message. My car is in for service. At 1 p.m., I get a text message. My car is done. I can pick it up anytime before 7. I drive to the dealership. I text them that I'm there. They tell me to remote open my vehicle. My key's in the trunk. I take their key. I put it in the drop box. I leave. They email me a bill. I mean, you know, this is not a new process. This is something that is already. Yes, right. If that doesn't raise the hairs on your neck to say, "Damn, I got to start doing something different," yes. I don't know what will.
No. Yes.
So yes, to your point, we will still need showrooms, but they will not be as large as they need to be right now, because there will be less staff to do the same job, which means you're going to have to acquire new skills. A salesperson that sold 10 to 20 cars will be selling 40 to 50 with a new process. That's it. You know, I mean, will you make more money? Who knows? Right. But you're going to have to do things differently. So thank you, Ian, for that. Ian also says it's all about relationship. I agree with you 1,000%.
It is. It is. And that's, you know, that's why I'm releasing so many videos, and that's why I'm putting so much content and information out there for free, for, you know, just to share, because, you know, Jonathan Dawson, one of his favorite sayings, I'm sure, I don't know if it's his or somebody else's, but he said, John, the secret to success and branding on social media, demonstrate how you can, no, what's he say? Demonstrate you can help people by actually helping them, right? Demonstrate how you can help people by actually helping them. So you help them first. Do you know what I mean? Like, it goes on to making the relationships. I'm trying to establish a relationship of trust and confidence, and somebody that's not trying to sell somebody. I am trying to serve. I would like to serve anybody that is willing to take my services. But I'm not selling anything. So I'm trying to develop and establish those relationships, because I got all this stuff in my head, and I can only go back and forth from the refrigerator to the office to the couch to the bed so many times in one day.
That's it. Your commute is getting you tired.
I think I'm going to go sit in the spare bedroom today, just visit in there, just kind of quietly sit there.
So we on 5 or 4? What are we on right now?
Oh, so number 4 was uncertainty. So we've got
Uncertainty.
3 left. The top 3 reasons why now is the best time to buy a car. Okay, and 2 of these top 3. So I'm just going to dissect this for a minute. Number 3 and number 2 require you to look into the future. Okay, we need to look into a future, and I'm going to go with my May 15th date. Might as well. It's a gut instinct, but let's just say that Dr. Fauci and Trump and whoever and flattening the curve, he does this with the hand. He annoys that we got to flatten that curve. Let's say May 15th, we go back to work. Everybody, we're starting fresh, okay? May 16th, the first day that we're open, you're going to have 2 major things happening in the car business that aren't happening today. Demand is going to be super high. And believe it or not, after stopping and after the plants being shut down and after auctions being closed and after dealers, doing a stop, slowing down buying, supply is actually going to be low. So you're going to have number 3 reason why today, right now, is the best time to buy a car is because May 16th, when this all breaks up, demand will be high. You don't want to buy a car. I mean, you do. Don't get me wrong. Hey, I'm not saying, but there's going to be, get out there, spend some money. I'm not trying to say not to buy then. I'm trying to say why to buy now. You're going to have demand. So you're going to be fighting with a lot of people's demand is going to be high. And then the number 2 reason will be at that same time, that May 16th date, supply is going to be low. Believe it or not, everybody, yes, there is a surplus of cars right now, but when that demand kicks way up, the supply is going to correct itself. Then it's going to be low, and now you're going to have less choices, high demand. You got to compete with this guy, compete with that guy. So that's number 3 and number 2. When we come out of this, there's going to be high demand and low supply, lower supply. It's not going to be super low. The number 1 reason why right now is the best time to buy a car is because I believe there is going to be a huge correction in the next 2, 3, 4 months, 6 months. And the correction in pre-owned and used car values, just car values across the board. And I say used car values because new cars are new cars. They have an MSRP, they have incentives. They're
supported by the factory. They're supported. Yeah.
There's no book on new cars. Okay. But the correction that's going to be made, and a lot of people have been doubting me and saying, don't worry about that. That'll never happen. Well, I went through 2008 and almost overnight cars went down, percentages, 10s and 15%. And here's the thing. And I read an article this morning. I wanted to share this with you. To prove my point, 2 days ago, an article was written in the Los Angeles Times, and it is titled, Automakers, Rental Firms Fear Coronavirus Shutdowns Could Sink Used Car Prices. Okay, that's what everybody forgets. We keep talking about the car business and our customers and how it's going to change and how about our cousins, the rental people? Those are the ones you got to worry about. You know how many cars they have sitting in lots without buyers? And that's what happened in 2008. There were so many rentals, and then their leasing values are going to get in trouble. So before we go off on too many tangents, I just want to go. My number 1 reason for why right now is the best time to buy a car is because I believe that guy with the $28,000 Chevy Silverado that he wants to trade and get a 0% for 84 months on a Dodge Ram right now, but he says, I'll probably wait until this is over. Well, what if his $28,000 Chevy Silverado is worth $22,000 on May 16th?
Absolutely. And you're starting to see that in the housing market, I mean, and it's all relative. So, but this is, history repeats itself. You definitely.
Then we got to get into cash for clunkers and bailouts.
Right.
And then what are we doing?
So Stephen Geffer has a question here. He says, what are your thoughts? How will the banks be handling the employment issues with verification and to be able to get these deals bought? So I don't know about you, John, but I have already prior to the pandemic, I've already seen some tightening with lenders.
Yeah.
You know,
they're doing the opposite. They're not trying to.
They're tightening up.
Over backwards.
So I put this in a post yesterday. I believe that the manufacturer is probably going to have to incentivize the lender to buy deeper. You know, put some of that money into buying. But yeah, I mean, look, people are going to be starting new jobs. I think deferred payments is going to help a lot of people. Deferred payments for 90 days is a good angle. Low financing, better lease options.
Go ahead. What do you hopped on too?
What do you got? Go ahead.
No, I just we got a couple guys. I see Eric LeBron is on Volkswagen Sanford. He's a sales manager. My boy Artem, I forgot how to say his last name. Afanasev, my Russian buddy. He's at Kia in New York, a finance manager. So, and AJ Brothers, my man, we used to work together in New York. Hope you're doing well, man. But yeah, my Volkswagen buddy, I'm going to see Eric LeBron in a little while here. I got to go and visit him. We worked together in Orlando at the Dodge Chrysler Jeep dealership, and he just got a promotion to a sales manager. So he's excited. You know, that's the tough thing too for Eric and a lot of our friends, Chris. You know, a lot of guys, I'm sure you know some guys that just got their promotion. You know what I mean? They just got their store, their dealership. I mean, I have a dealer. I had a job offer from Mobile in Mobile, Alabama. I have an old dealer of mine from Pompano that just opened his store last week in Mobile, Alabama. And he's like, John, I know the timing sucks, but what are you going to do? He told me he got his TOC. I was meant to ask you, Chris, what's a TOC? Is that got something to do with occupancy or something?
TOC.
Yeah, we just got our TOC. I think it's something about occupancy, but yeah, I really liked it. I mean, a lot of these guys, Justin Jarek, he just started he got a promotion.
Bone-faced Kia, yep. What I could say, some encouraging words for those people. If you are starting a new position, hey, it's a new position. There are no expectations. It's not like you have to do what you did before because you haven't done it yet. I think you're in the best position to create the right strategy from jump as opposed to try to relearn new things, right? So if you're in a new position, you know, we're all in a new position. I think that's the beauty that's one of my takeaways is, you know, you could start from scratch right now and rebuild a process around whatever you want it to be. It's your show.
Right.
You know, so comment where you're from and let us know where you are watching.
What is that face I'm making? My God.
The face?
I don't know. Yeah, I was making I got to watch what faces I'm making. I don't want to scare people, man. I was like.
Nobody wants to work a car deal. Look at this. 58 minutes. And we are here and we can work a car deal with you. Just show you how easy it can be for you and your staff. You have a trade? Let us know what it is. We'll get you a value. We'll find out what your payoff is. We'll get you numbers, lease, finance, whatever you want. Put it to the test. We can work remotely.
Yeah,
listen, John, it was an absolute pleasure doing this with you, and I know we're going to be speaking a lot in the.
Maybe we'll do it. Let's do this a weekly thing. Hump Day.
Done.
All right, every Wednesday we'll come on. Or maybe we'll do it a couple times a week. I don't know. This was great. I just wish. We've got to figure out it because I want to be able to share it more live. And I see some of my friends and people are coming on, but they were coming on later. So whatever. But hopefully they retain this information. Hopefully it helps. And
and if you drop a comment below, what topics would you like to talk about in the future? We did speak about the car business, but we also touch restaurants and just our lives, how everything's changing. So
well,
embrace it.
the next time we're going to have to talk about a little bit. You touched on it for a minute there about, when we come back from this, what kind of changes, what it's not going to be the same. You already didn't like going to movie theaters, movies.
Mhm.
Okay. And I told you my story about how I really wasn't enjoying planes much anymore.
Mhm.
I mean, I think with the drop in prices and don't get me wrong, I want everybody to be able to afford, better transportation. But I feel like kind of with the price war. Hello?
We lost
Can
you.
you still hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. Were you getting a call?
Oh man. Every single time. Well, Chris, I gotta go.
All right. Listen, we will
I lost.
we will end it that way. We lost John. He can't get his voice back. Can you hear me? All right, that's it. So we're going to close up this way. Hope you guys have an absolutely amazing day, this beautiful Wednesday, and just keep on moving forward in the direction in which you want to go. I mean, look, there are many, many great takeaways in the world with what's going on. It is up to you to make the necessary changes to make yourself relevant in the near future. All right, whatever you do for a living will change. However you interact with the world is changing. You guys just embrace that, and knowledge is key. Acquire new skills. You guys be great.